The Green Room at Lift Vancouver is brought to you by Cloud9 Cannabis Coaching. If you have suffered from anxiety, chronic pain, or depression, like I have, you know full well how debilitating it can be. Brady Sparrow, founder of Cloud9 Coaching, specializes in microdosing cannabis to help her clients lead more balanced lives. Whether you've been using cannabis your entire adult life or just now learning about this incredible plant, Brady's simple microdosing guide will help you find the perfect balance in just 1 month. Brady is about to host her first 30-day challenge called Find Your Cloud9 in 30 Dope Days. I'm doing it and you should too. So why not go over to cloud9coaching.com and join us. Be sure to use coupon code Jackie, JACQUI, for a special Green Room discount.
What's going on, everybody? This is Les from Cannabis.Wiki. We're here at the 2.0 Lift&Co Cannabis Business Conference and Expo. I have Gerald Major.
Yeah.
Jackie Childs.
Hey guys.
And our special guest today,
Abi Roach.
Yeah.
What?
Legendary advocate and activist from Toronto, Canada.
Preach.
Hotbox.
Preach.
Welcome to the
Hi.
Green Room.
The original
Again,
OG.
Second time on the Green Room.
Yeah.
We had her
Yes.
Skyped in at home, so
Yeah.
This time it's live in flesh.
Yeah.
Happy to
So
see
live
you.
and direct.
tell us what you can tell us that's exciting and good going on in the industry
Oh.
for you right now.
All kinds of really great stuff. I'm starting my career again. More information will come out soon, but I'm moving along from 20 years of running the Hotbox and, moving into the next phase and moving myself into the next phase. So some really exciting stuff that's going to drop next week. I don't want to tingle everybody's...
I'm tingling
I
already.
know.
Phase drop.
Everyone's going to have to wait a week. But yeah, some really exciting stuff. And,
I will be-
I think Abi Roach 2.0 is going to be a really...
Just go
it's
3.0.
gonna be
Just-
delicious.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I think that was the tidbit right there. All right, I
Teaser.
won't push
Yeah.
because we're always impressed to hear stuff coming out from you because you are a longtime activist in the cannabis industry. Fantastic that you're here at Lift.
Yeah.
Here
I'm
in
going to be,
Vancouver.
I'm speaking, I guess, about an hour. I'm going to be speaking about the future of public consumption and consumption spaces and where we should be going and where it will go. So, and I'm excited to see that it will actually happen. Hopefully, we just got to keep pushing government
pushing.
we got to keep pushing government to create, what I like to call realistic public policy, things that make sense and aren't just
Work.
derived from imagination.
How did you come into the industry?
Oh, well,
little
that's,
blurb, tell
oh my
her.
God, yeah, well, do we have how long
Quick.
we got? Yeah, no, so, when I was always an entrepreneurial child, and I started out selling jewelry on Queen West in Toronto, making my own jewelry. I ended up meeting Robin Ellens, who owns The Friendly Stranger.
Oh, right.
Prior to him being
Shout
Friendly
out Friendly
Stranger.
Stranger.
Yeah. And, he sold me some hemp and taught me about hemp. I learned how to make hemp jewelry, and then I moved from Queen West. I started selling jewelry on, at concerts and whatever else not, and lawns. So I sort of was dealing with a lot of cannabis consumers on that level. And when I was 19, I decided to open up a head shop called Roachorama. And in 2000
Roachorama.
Yeah, I know. And in 2000,
Trailblazer.
Totally. And then-
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I know. And then in 2003, we added the Hotbox portion to it. And it was the first, I guess, consumption lounge outside of British Columbia.
Okay.
Blunt Brothers had existed in Vancouver prior. And we have been operating since. So this year is actually the 20-year anniversary of Roachorama Hotbox being in business.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah.
In
20
very troubled waters.
It won't ever change, right? It's like anytime anyone ever complains about being, in some crazy situation, I'm like, well, welcome to cannabis.
Yeah.
Right.
It was exactly the same when it was illegal as it is when it's legal, right?
Yeah.
It's until it all settles down and becomes, just a regular consumer product like like shoes and milk. It's gonna be, it's gonna be turbulent waters. But
Are you hopeful it will settle down?
I can guarantee you it will settle down. I think right now there's a lot of have-up. There's a lot of people coming into the industry. There's a lot of consumers coming into the industry. The politicians don't really understand what they're doing yet. But, in 5 years from now, we'll be having a good laugh at the mess that was the beginning, and right? It's a regulated product. I think once everybody stops imagining that it's toxic waste and starts treating it as though it's just a regulated product like sugar, like milk, like shoes,
Like shoes.
like
She always
shoes.
brings
I
back
always,
shoes.
I love shoes. Then I think everything will start to settle down, right? I think society just needs to see what it looks like when cannabis is being regulated for a certain amount of time and it's just a regular part of life. I think in 5 years from now, we'll see CBD products sold at a Loblaws over the shelf, same as we do. We see hemp products, right?
Right. Yeah.
20 years
Everywhere.
ago, when I opened, people would ask me if they could smoke the hat that I sold them, right? Whereas now you could walk into a Loblaws and you can buy hemp cereal. You can buy.
We
hemp
tried that
milk,
last
right?
night. Didn't work that well.
Yeah. So,
Gotta take it off first, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the changes that we see happening, and everything takes time.
Are
And-
you a medical patient?
No,
No, you're not?
Never
Oh,
have been.
you're all
No,
right.
I
Oh,
haven't.
wow.
I've never even lied. Yeah.
Really? I've never even lied.
Preach.
Yeah,
You done, you.
yeah.
So with now the lottery gone
Yeah.
and the legalization of edibles,
Yeah.
how do you think this is going to transpire?
I think what I'm really excited to see is, especially in Ontario, I'm really excited to see the innovation and entrepreneurship that's going to come out of an open system. Again, once we get past the first 100 licenses given out and whatever else not, and that's anywhere in any province, it's going to be really exciting to see how entrepreneurs take edibles, topicals, whatever else not, and all the plethora of products that are coming out, and really create diversified retail models to be able to create different retail experiences that are more focused on certain products more than others. And I think it's going to really weed out the strong from the weak. I think right now what we're seeing is a bunch of people who really know nothing about cannabis,
Right.
nothing about retail, coming into retail because, as I always say, you're going to click your heels 3 times and
make it
money,
rain.
make it rain money. You know what I mean? Yeah. I said weed. That's not true. That's not
it
the
is
reality.
true, though.
Right
Every
now,
time
it is.
policy changes and
Yeah.
we get tax added, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the government believes that that's exactly what happens. The
Yeah.
next day we wake up, and
Everybody
we've got
believes
a
that
whole
that's
lot
what
of
happens,
money, right?
but that's not what happens because it's just a regular
let's
product.
get down to our
Yeah.
advocacy collaborations,
Yeah,
my
for
friend.
sure.
A lot of years in this thing, and it's been like banging your head on a wall. So mad respect for you for hanging
Thanks,
in there.
yeah.
I've done 5, and it's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Normal and CFAM, we did our first collaboration
Yeah.
earlier last year, so we got to get back to that
We
stuff.
sure do.
And similarly, what we're doing here, busting through the red tape,
Yeah.
getting to the truth,
Yeah.
and then getting collaboration. So
Yeah.
I think when patient groups and stuff, we have hot topics, we
Yeah.
want to be all over that because we'll get
Absolutely.
right into it.
Yeah.
So
And
anytime you got stuff to say,
Yeah,
Let's
and
come on
but
over.
I don't feel, to be honest, I don't feel like I've banged my head against the wall. I feel like
That's why you're Abi
who's the guy
Roach.
from X-Men, Juggernaut?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right, it's like I feel like as much as I've banged my head against the wall, that wall is broken down every
Right.
time I've hit it.
Right.
When you're an advocate, one of the most important things is to learn how to get your message across in a productive manner that makes sense, and that's how you break walls, right? If we keep doing the same thing that doesn't work, we'll end up in the
that's the
same place.
definition of
Right.
insanity.
Exactly.
And we're
But-
not insane, we're just,
we're just doing it. But I think, over the last 20 years, pretty much everything that we have advocated for has come to fruition. It just takes time. We have to remember that politicians work for everybody, and not everybody lives in the bubble. Us four, we
Right.
wake up every day and we are in the cannabis bubble. It's all we think about, it's all we care about, that's our life. But
That's it.
everybody else doesn't, right? So for a politician that has a million other things in their file to concentrate on cannabis as their main focal point is a pretty high expectation of us, right?
Sure.
So we have to understand that how to work with them and how to get our points across in a way that makes sense to them and in a way that they can take the time out of their files and make time to make this happen, right?
Right.
You ever
So-
think about being a politician? Or?
Yeah.
Vote Abi Roach.
I'm actually, I kind of am. I'm on
Right.
my fourth term as a board member for the Kensington Market BIA,
Right.
which doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm voted in.
Oh, it seems like a lot.
4 years of
no,
volunteer
no,
work.
it's 16 years, not 4 years.
16
It's 4
years
terms.
of
I'm on
volunteer
my
work
fourth
is
term.
a lot.
Yeah, but I'm actually every BIA is a part of City Hall, and I actually have a letter from Mayor John Tory that says that I'm a part of City Hall.
Wow.
So I am kind of a politician, but you know, I hope and I think
I was just
that
gonna ask, what's your
can
hope?
for me, you know, what I want and I think will happen for me is I really want to come into the government end of cannabis, right? So, and I can put it out there that that's what is happening in the next phase of my life, essentially, and that's
Abi
next
Roach
realm.
2.0.
I'm covered in
2.0,
goosebumps.
Hey.
right? But
It's
that's
true, right?
But that's
I
what I'm.
did too. You gave me chills because-
it's an extremely validating feeling for me to know that government wants to work with me, and takes what I have to say seriously enough that they want me involved in the process.
You make
So-
anybody who's a cannabis either patient or recreational,
Yeah.
when they hear you speak, you have passion, you
Yeah.
have knowledge. You are the perfect ambassador for
Yeah.
cannabis.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
that's why I brought it up about politicking.
Yeah.
How
yeah,
can
yeah.
our listeners and viewers find you if they want to reach out or if they're
At Abi Roach, ABI ROACH. That's it.
Instagram,
on everything.
Facebook, Twitter, everything?
At Abi Roach. Actually, on Instagram, I'm at Abi Roach 420 because there was a cute little Indian girl that took at Abi Roach. Like,
You're
Is,
I
louder.
allowed it. I was like, all right, little girl.
Is
She's only
Roach-
20 something now, but back when I checked, yeah, she was probably about 13. So
and
I
that's
wasn't gonna
actually
argue.
your last name?
Yeah.
No,
No?
Okay.
no, of course not. Yeah.
It's not?
Well,
want the
sometimes,
story?
like,
Yeah.
you know, Rolly
You
at
can tell me the
smoking.
story.
I won't
Drop it,
give you my
drop it.
real name, but I'll give you the quick story.
Drop it.
So it's a multi-part story. So I moved to Canada from Israel in 1989. I was 11 years old.
Right.
I spoke no English and nobody could pronounce my Hebrew name. And my mom had bought me Abbey Road, the Beatles' Abbey Road on tape. So I always in my Walkman when I was a kid.
My Walkman,
I'm
yeah.
old, by the way.
Older.
Yeah, I had a Walkman,
Young
Sony
at
red with fluffy earphones, you know. But I love that album. I still do. It's probably one of my favorites. So Abby and my real name kind of sounded the same, but I didn't know how to read and write in English, so I spelt it ABI. And of course, me being a go-getter little kid, I walked up to my school first week, and I came into the principal's office, and I was like, "My name is Abby, and I'm going to be a student at your school." And I introduced myself, and I've been Abby ever since. And then everything on my form since was ABI. And then when I opened up Roachorama, there was a band, still there is a band in Kensington Market called Bunch of Fucking Goofs. And everyone that has ever belonged to the Bunch of Fucking Goofs is last name Goof, right? So there's Steve Goof, Jamie Goof, Kurt Goof.
How can I get in there? Just like I could
I'll
play
introduce
tambourine.
you. Yeah, they've been a punk band since punk was punk. Like if you look at Bunch of Fucking Goofs, they're amazing. Anyways, and they're my neighbors. So when I opened, there was no cell phone, there was no internet. It was 2000. There was white pages. So anyone who wanted to find me could find me in the phone book. They could find out where I lived, and I didn't want that, right? I was like, I don't want people to know where I live. Like, that's weird, right?
It is weird.
So I decided to go with Roach. I was like, my store's name is Roachorama, so I'll be like a goof, and I'll be Abi Roach. And if you look at my
nice.
phone, anyone who's ever worked for me doesn't have a last name in my phone. They all have the last name Roach. So there's like an Aaron Roach, Angela
that's
Roach.
cool.
So you have
Yeah.
you started the Minions.
The Minions, exactly.
Oh,
and I've been
Minion
Abi Roach for
Roaches.
20 years. Yeah, and it's funny. I lived in a house for 11 years, a rental house. All of my bills came to Abi Roach. Yeah, my landlord. Even though I wrote him checks, signed, and everything, nobody knew my real name. Nobody bothers to look.
You're a ghost.
My next phase of my life, I'm going to put it out there. I sent in my resume the first time. Nobody called me back with my real name. I was like, nobody wants to hire Abi Roach, so I'm going to use my real name.
Right.
Nobody called me back. I sent the HR person at this organization wrote me back, and they were like, I really want you to reapply, and you're perfect, and rah rah.
Yeah.
So I sent it back in, and I wrote Abi Roach, also known as, with my real name. I got a call back within a minute. It was,
I
so
love
it's
it.
just funny. Nobody there's two people, and I'm kind of excited to start living my life as me again.
I'm
right?
excited for you.
Yeah,
And I hope
yeah.
you come back in the next few weeks or few months.
I'm
and-
not leaving.
and
You'll get my
share
press
So
release.
you're
Good. Yeah.
you're
been-
living the
Looking
dream.
here.
You're actually living the
I've
dream.
been manifesting this press release for the last 2 months and just like adjusting and writing it out. So
I can't
when
wait
it
to
drops,
share it.
Yeah, I know.
You look
It's
so
like
happy.
If everything
It's
works.
all
I got
aligning.
quads. Yeah, the stars are all there for me. 20 years.
2020's
Guys.
2020
collaboration.
is my year.
You heard it.
Yeah.
We got something special coming up from Abi Roach in
Yeah.
a week. Wait for it.
Yeah.
Wait for it. But until then, where cannabis talk is always fresh, a little bit sticky, keep it locked to Cannabis Wiki, the green room, and we're out.
Peace.